All right. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Everybody seems very chipper on this very
Hot day.
hot, humid, oppressive day. It is not nice out there.
That's because it's air conditioned in here.
It's very nice in here, you're right, I might stay here all night. So,
Speaking of air conditioned in here, I should mention that the police station, the community room, is available as a cooling center today. You can either get a ride from the van, or if they're desperate, they can get the police to take them over, or they can drive themselves. Of course, the library's open, and this building.
yes, please, do not suffer in silence in this heat. I don't, really. So, all right. A reminder that this is an open meeting, and we must abide by the open meeting law and rules and regulations. So, and we have had one announcement already. Do we have other announcements from board members? Yes, Susan?
I don't know if it's anywhere, but the Neshoba Cafe across the street is offering a $3 lunch for seniors on Tuesdays.
Wonderful.
It's a discount.
Yep, there's a poster up downstairs about that.
That's a great thing. And
gonna
I'll
be in the
piggyback right on that, because on Tuesdays, you can go over to the cafe, have your lunch for $3, and then you go to Springdale Farm on Tuesdays and get fresh produce, 20% off.
And then you
All
go to the
seniors.
neighborhood supper.
And then you go to the neighborhood supper Tuesday night, and you have a great day. So, seniors out there, take advantage of all these great opportunities.
Good to be a senior.
It is. So, that's funny.
That's on Thursdays, right?
Tuesdays. All happens on Tuesdays. Get Tuesday in your head. So. All
Oh,
right.
watch out, we got the Board of Selectmen here.
Oh, I know, a visiting selectman, welcome. I'd also like to announce that today is Barbara Cam's last meeting with us. She has decided not to re-up, take a little vacation from the council.
No, just from the board, I think.
And how long has she been on the board?
I don't know.
How long have you been on the board?
Oh, gosh. I don't remember.
Your microphone, you don't have a microphone in front of you there. You gotta switch them around.
How long, Mary?
So,
At least in the 80s.
Yeah.
you know, Barbara has been very active board member, has done, I can't even begin, I haven't been around, as long as she has, so I'm not even aware of everything she's done, but I know she does a lot. So, and after this meeting ends, we are having some refreshments in Barbara's honor, and we welcome guests and other people too. If anybody's watching and they want to come down and see Barbara, come on down. It'll probably be around 3 o'clock maybe. Try to get done a little bit faster, but, so,
Nice.
everyone is welcome. Any other announcements?
I've got a couple.
Pam?
First of all, I want to echo what Marge was saying about Barbara always being a person who, if you need something done and you ask her, she'll do it. I'm going to miss you on the board. But I'm glad you're going to still be around the COA, and I'm sure the diner feels like our loss is their gain.
I'll still be there.
Yeah.
I understand she's gonna start calling the bingo.
You're going to start calling the bingo?
No. Thanks, Bob.
I also wanted to announce that we are open on Monday, July 3rd. The holiday is actually celebrated on July 4th, which is a Tuesday. So we are open, and all the events, as usual, will be happening on Monday. Town Hall will even be open. Make sure people are clear on that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that on the 5th, the day after the 4th of July, we have a special music program. Jumping Juma is coming. We've never had them before. It's a duo. They sound like a couple of real high-energy guys, and I think it'll be a lot of fun, and that starts at 12:30 on the 5th, July 5th. So,
Yes, Bob.
I just want to let everybody know, I had one of the most outstanding programs that I have ever had at the COA last week. We went to the Ernest Hemingway presentation. And I was sorry to say that there were about 12 people there. There should have been 300. It was as good as anything I've seen at Repertory Theater. He was absolutely magnificent. I have always struggled with his books and the person, and he did an absolutely wonderful job of interweaving them. Absolutely wonderful. When we put out these programs, grab them, because they're often, these cultural things that we get are just absolutely wonderful, and this one was astounding. It really was.
He was really excellent, and brought to us by the Massachusetts Cultural Commission and the Littleton Cultural Commission, which meant we didn't have to pay for his performance, and truly it was a performance. Makeup, he had a stage set, the whole thing was really tremendous. And I had the same feeling, Bob, that I came away really understanding Ernest Hemingway much better.
Right.
Oh, seniors out there, listen up and take advantage of these opportunities when you see them in the broadcaster, please. So, we're very fortunate here in this town to have such quality programs.
Yes, agreed.
All right, any other announcements? I will just explain a little bit to our guests. Well, you notice we have an empty chair, and that is so if you would like to speak, just raise your hand, and you'll be recognized, and the candidates will be coming up so that you need to be heard. This is televised, and so you need to be at a microphone if you're speaking. So feel free, okay? And if you have questions, ask. All right. Maybe I have a vote to,
I move that we accept the minutes.
you didn't even let me get it out of my
second.
mouth. You are a mind reader.
You said you wanted to move along.
I did.
Let's do
never
it.
been prompted. We need to move along. We have a heavy agenda. So, okay, it's been moved and seconded that the minutes of the May 8th meeting be accepted. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You in favor, Bob? You wrote them.
Yep,
Okay.
I wrote them.
I know. All right, thank you. Barbara McCray, where are you? Are you ready? Would you like to come give us the Friends report?
I'm here.
Saunter on
I
up.
have a little bit to say, but I think Nancy's here, and you never know how much she has to say.
Okay, we have a great kindergarten thing coming up this week, I
Yeah,
heard.
yeah, well, I'll let her talk about that,
Okay.
because she's the one that plans all of those wonderful programs. I want to start out, though, by saying you did a great job, Barbara. But realize that we already have started her on some other jobs, so, yeah. She's not retiring, that's for sure. And the other thing is, I want to mention, remind people that the Friends are having their fashion show for the thrift shop on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 14th. And we're just going to have iced tea and cookies, and like Pamela said something about hot weather, come in and watch a fashion show and keep cool, because the air conditioner's on. And the show's at 1 o'clock Wednesday. Okay?
And these are cool summer fashions?
Yes. I'm sorry?
Cool summer fashions?
Yes, cool summer fashions. We have about 12 models wearing 3 outfits each, so it's going to be
Nice.
fun. Also, the Friends are taking a break until September, but we've already been working on a bunch of things that for the next year. We are going to be helping Representative Arciero and Senator Eldridge with their cookout 17th of August by just supplying some music. I had talked to them about it, and we thought it would be fun to have kind of a country western day. So get ready for that.
When is this, for third Thursday?
That's going to be August 17th.
That's not
Third
third
Thursday.
Thursday, that's the cookout with the representatives.
Yeah.
What's the program? No,
It's
not
a
the
it's a
people you're
lunch.
presenting.
It's a cookout that the rep and the senator are giving us their annual cookout.
Right.
And this time it's on a Thursday because they were busy every other day. Also, now the Friends are on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and email. So if you want it, and I'm left my, Could somebody hand me that, please? The card. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so we have a Facebook page, facebook.com, Friends of the Littleton Council on Aging. And the email is flcoa859@gmail.com. So if you want to talk to us or send us something, and you can have that. Okay? And now I'll just leave the rest to
Nancy.
Nancy.
Thank you, Barbara.
Hi, guys.
Hi there.
Hello.
Last week, Wednesday, I got an email from Michelle, kindergarten teacher at Shaker Lane, inviting us to come this Thursday to a concert given for our seniors.
Oh, how nice.
And emails back and forth, and today she apologized for the short notice because it's hard getting a hold of a lot of people to go. No matter how many sign up, it's going to happen anyway. So it is going to be this Thursday at Shaker Lane School, a concert given by all the kindergarten classes just for the seniors. It's at 11 o'clock in the morning to 11:30, so it's short. Parking will be available. They're going to block it off for us.
Oh, nice.
And you just need to let the COA office know if you're coming, because they need to know how many are coming. And I hope you'll all be able to come. It's going to be the first of its kind. And she's going to give us more notice the next time, and she's thinking the spring.
What was your name again?
Michelle Barth, sorry.
Michelle?
B-A-R-T-H.
Nancy, could you maybe just back up a little bit and explain a little bit? This is one of the intergenerational programs, and what happened preceding this that ended up with this concert?
On the flyer that you don't have, this is part of an intergeneration program that the COA and the Friends have been working on for several years. And this year, Michelle Barth's kindergarten class got involved with a book buddy program. And we had seniors go out to her class in March, April, and May and read to her class. So, and it was quite successful. We started out small, and she wanted originally to have 23 seniors for 23 children, and that was hard, just for parking alone. So, first time it was 4, then it was 12, and then I think it ended up at 14. And so she has 1-on-1 or 2-on-1, I think there are 23 in her class.
Oh, okay.
So, we have it with the third graders, we have it with the kindergartners, the Girl Scouts, and the high school with their luncheon that they provide for us.
Oh, yep.
Very
Keeps
nice.
growing. Keeps growing and expanding. And it's great that they're making arrangements for parking, I think, because I was concerned about that myself. I know that there's a shortage of parking spaces at Shaker Lane. So-
Ann said she'd go.
Yes.
Yes. So do you give our name to the office, or?
No, because I have it too.
Okay, okay.
There was a funny thing on, online. We get the weekly announcements for the programs this week, and it said on it, to contact Nancy Levine with my home phone number. And I contacted Paul, and I said, Paul, can you please change it? And he did. And he did, and he said, don't call Nancy. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for that
Nancy.
effort, because it's really been great. I think I've heard lots of great things about this kindergarten program. All right. Any questions for the Friends before we move on? We're all good? All right. Old business, we have one item, and that is the third Thursday events. Where is the location, Pam, this year? I noticed the sign said changed location.
Right. My understanding is that it is near IBM. I didn't quite understand their description of the green space that we would use, but they did say the parking would be in the lower lot. So my guess is it's close to the mobile station.
And what is it?
It's called Third Thursday.
Oh,
And it should be pretty obvious as you get close to it where they're gonna be, because Park and Rec always goes very early and just maps everything out. So just,
well, the historic house is in the front, and then there's a great big green in back of it. Maybe that's where they're doing it. And that would be
I
right
don't know.
next to the lower parking lot.
I can't say for sure.
Do you know,
Like I said,
Cindy?
it'll be obvious.
I don't know for certain, but that would make sense to me, that they would have it at that locations visible from the street,
Okay, thank you.
the parking space.
Instead of on the common.
Well, I think it caused such traffic problems on the common.
It's a good change.
It is a good change.
And
And
the
I
streets
noticed
are
the
red.
electronic sign, just coming down, when I was coming down here this morning, said, I spotted, location changed, and then the next flash, and I didn't catch it anyway, so.
Initially, when I was coming down, it did say IBM Third Thursday or something like that, and
Oh.
I didn't get all of it, so of course I'm turning around
Yeah,
going
there's a
back.
lot, yeah, I know.
Well,
So-
Mary's covering the table. Mary, I will find out before Thursday exactly where they want you to go, and I'll call you.
I'll be in because I'll pick up everything in the morning or something.
That's right, we have an awareness subcommittee, just to elaborate a little bit for the benefit of our guests. We have an awareness subcommittee, and they take on making sure that the COA is represented at these Third Thursday events. So, thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Do I understand that the female members are going to start a Congo line of the board?
Right now.
Try anything you get to do it.
You have to lead it.
No, Barbara will lead us out of the building on her way home.
All right. All right, any other old business? And are there any questions about Third Thursday? Please try to attend if you can. Make it, and, yes, Susan?
This third Thursday, the first one, there'll be RNs there to do blood pressure clinic.
Great. Good announcement. Take advantage of that. Get your blood pressure checked. Okay, new business. And we have, on our first item is the interviewing of our applicants. We have 2 vacancies after this meeting with, one member, Roseanne, resigned earlier this year, and Barbara is stepping down. And we have 3 applicants. And before we start that, just let me explain a couple of things. We routinely ask the same question of all the applicants, and we recognize the fact that it's a little unfair for the first person because the other 2 then can stop and think about their answers, but be that as it is, that's what we're doing today, so bear with us. And I just wanted to make sure that you all understood that the COA board is a supervisory board.
No, it's an advisory.
Advice.
I mean, advisory, and it's not supervisory, and I know that well. I'm sorry I made a slip of the tongue.
Freudian slip.
Freudian slip, right? But we do not supervise. Pamela is not a member of the board, but Pamela and the board work very closely, and she attends, she just doesn't have a vote on some items, but on all items, really. So, but we strictly are an advisory. We make recommendations to Pamela. We support her in any way that we can to try to help her get her job done easier, to enhance her job, whatever we can do, and whatever she asks us to do, or we might suggest. So that's kind of the focus of the COA board, and I just wanted to be sure. It's in the rules and regulations, it's in the job description a little bit, but that is the basic function of the COA board. And it's a little different than most of the other town boards where, you kind of, they have specific duties.
It's also spelled out in the memorandum of agreement between
That's
this
right.
board and the BOS board.
That's right. Okay, yes.
Can I just want to maybe speak.
Do you wanna come
before-
up?
I don't want to stay for the interviews because I'm going to be seeing these individuals tonight at the Board of Selectmen's meeting, but I just wanted to address the board.
Come up to the,
before
if you would like,
that
come up to the
I
microphone.
could, just a few things going on. This will just take a minute. So I just wanted to mention, I'm excited that you have so much interest in your board.
So are we.
I think it's great. People are starting to really pay attention and want to get involved across the board with all of the town committees and boards. We've never had so much interest as we've had this year. It's really been great to see to see that output, that amount of interest. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is I followed up with Chris Stoddard on the space needs assessment, and that is going to be completed in 8 to 12 weeks. And I just wanted to put it on the board's radar and perhaps Pamela's radar to see if you would be interested in starting a senior center subcommittee to maybe get in line your thoughts and ideas about what you would like to see in a senior center, anticipating the results from that space needs
We
study.
already have a space subcommittee, which it would fall
Right.
under, so
Right.
perhaps, but we can have a spin-off from that, maybe.
Right, just to maybe
Activate that.
Yeah.
Right, just see, maybe pick out needs versus wants, and just kind of have some ideas in place. Because what I would like to see happen is when those results come back, to hit the ground running and really, and see this finally come to fruition, depending on what they advise. I know that they're going to advise the size of the space, scenarios regarding location, and cost estimates are all going to be included with the report that we receive. I would just like to see the seniors be one step ahead of that in anticipating getting on board with that quickly.
Susan?
I thought that we had sort of, as a board, decided that we were more in favor of a MAG rather than a senior center.
Okay, right,
Um,
right, and I'm not sure of that, so that's something that
I
you
know.
could discuss. I just wanted to mention it today.
I'm glad you did, because the board has been very involved and very active in doing a
Right.
lot in that line, along that line, and so I'm glad you put
Right,
it on the
I
radar
just
screen
wanted to
for us.
kind of
We will pay attention.
put that on the radar. And
got
then the
it.
other thing I wanted to mention.
But before we step away from
Oh,
that.
sure.
Do you feel that we have a senior center now? Do we have a center of operations where people come to get what they need?
Yes.
We have a Little C. We have we just have a senior center.
Right,
So certainly if we start talking about space needs, that's part of our need.
right,
Yeah.
right, it's all one in the.
It doesn't
to
need
me,
to
I
be
see-
a separate building someplace.
Right.
No.
Out on the edge of town.
Right. I see it all as one and the same, but again, that's up for you to decide. So I just wanted to maybe mention that, to try to get a head start on the project. The other thing I just wanted to mention is there's been a lot of discussion in the planning board. I don't know if people have been keeping up with their meetings lately, but we did.
Oh, yeah.
When do we do?
There's been a lot of talk about seniors and affordable housing. And I don't know if you watched the last planning board meeting, but I wanted to just maybe point out that maybe you could somehow get the word out there to have people start really paying attention. I think they have a couple meetings coming up. I know that, Pamela, you're usually in the loop.
We've actually, our housing subcommittee has
Right.
been invited to a joint meeting with the planning board on July 10th.
Perfect, all right, good. I just wanted to make sure of that, because it was an interesting discussion, and I just wanted to make sure that, hi,
At our August, third Thursday,
okay,
we will be having our housing subcommittee chair at the table to talk about the housing issues with regard to seniors.
Perfect.
Because September is when there'll be a town meeting
right.
addressing it.
Right,
So
exactly.
we thought that was a very timely
Okay,
time to have her there.
okay, great.
Patty Hunt is the
Right, exactly. I
lead
sat
person.
next to Patty at the volunteer luncheon, so that would be great. All right, well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's
We
perfect.
we have several subcommittees, and the housing subcommittee has been very, very
No,
active.
and I know that, yeah. I just wanted to bring it up just because it's
glad you
becoming
did.
a hot topic.
And, well, and the
So-
seniors out there that may be listening to this meeting
Right.
and, need to hear it too.
Right,
So,
right,
thank you.
right, so-
We appreciate that.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's
Thank
all I
you,
had to say. I
Sandy.
just wanted to pop in and say hello.
Thank you very
Hello.
much.
Hop back and
Any-
have cake.
I know, I wish I could. I have to get back to work.
I'm putting all these
Unfortunately.
comments under announcements.
So.
I was hoping you would be two persons, one for here and one for the
Oh, I
select.
know, I know. This, you do a wonderful job here, and I was torn. I
I
really
know.
was, but I just made it clear I still want to be involved with the seniors and the council on
No,
aging.
you're doing
It was a
great.
Decision that I did make, so I'm happy.
We
to be
are
here.
very appreciative of that, trust me. So,
We're very happy.
yes.
Good.
So-
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, and thank you for
Thank
all you
you.
do. It was so nice to see you.
Thank you.
You as well, though.
Bye.
Okay. All right, now, in your packets, before we start the interviewing, you have the list of the questions. And I have reorganized my, oops, here it is, myself. I just have decided that we will call people alphabetically, for want of a better structure. So that puts Maureen Donnelly first, and then Andy, and then Kathleen. So that's how we're doing it. So, Maureen, come to the chair and the microphone, if you would, and we only have 9 questions, so it's not a long, it's not a huge brochure of questions. And the purpose is really, we try to be consistent, with what we're asking. We ask people to be as brief and succinct as possible because I'm not popular if this meeting goes too long. And so we want to try to keep within our time frame, of the meeting, and we don't want to really extend it too long. And we want to be able to celebrate and honor Barbara. Yeah, so I'm going to ask that we start down at the opposite end of the table with Susan, and we will come around to Mary Pickard and then around back down. Okay?
Board members are appointed by the selectmen. Therefore, each board member is considered an employee of the town. That responsibility brings with it an obligation to adhere to various laws, as well as taking training at various times, and being on TV for monthly board meetings. Do you anticipate any difficulty adhering to any of these requirements?
I don't anticipate there being a problem. I think I would like to know what the requirements are.
Okay. Essentially, to attend board meetings, to serve on a subcommittee. You have to pick one of the subcommittees and serve on it. We have subcommittee meetings monthly. To attend, when you can, different events where the board is invited. To participate to the best of your ability in the events of the board. And I think that's pretty much it. I think in the job description.
Excuse me, I was just going to say, each applicant received a copy of the job description.
I did.
So, yeah, so she's a little bit familiar with it.
So there's that in-kind contribution or money, which seems to trip people up. But in-kind just means participating.
Okay.
And as long as you participate, you don't have to feel that you have to donate.
No,
Okay.
that's true, that is a little confusing, but very good. Thank
Hi,
you.
Maureen.
I'm Mary.
How are you?
I'm well.
How will your skill set enhance the COA board?
Skill set. Well,
Whatever you've done is part of it.
I am a nurse, although I am retired. Yes, absolutely. I have been a member of a nationwide community service organization for over 40 years, so I'm well versed in
Excuse me, but
in ways that we can assist in the community.
Good. Mary?
If you had to choose COA services, which are most important to the community, which 2 or 3 programs come to mind?
I do think that the housing subcommittee is very important. I think that it's very clear from town meeting that people are struggling and need assistance. And I think that that's one that's very important. I do think that the activities committee, and I don't know if that's the correct word, but the activities group really helps so that people have a sense of being with other people, meeting other people, and giving them an outlet for participating.
Very good, very good.
Marina, what I'd like to know is, how do you, in your own dealing with people, and of course you're never going to deal with this on the board, but in case you do, with disagreements, contentious situations, how do you generally handle your involvement in those?
I think it would depend on what the situation was. Obviously, I think that if there are two people who don't agree, it's incumbent on both persons to listen to what the other person has to say. I think that's very important. And I think that you can agree to disagree. I'm assuming that I would never be in a position where I would have to make a decision, so therefore, if someone doesn't agree with my point of view, I don't have to shove it down their throat, but on the other hand, I would hope they wouldn't do it to me.
Thank you.
Good, great. And welcome again.
Thank you.
Now, what are your interests with regard to elder services? I know you're active in that, because I go to Stretch and Flex and you're there.
I do love Stretch and Flex. It's become a very, very warm place to be.
It is.
I like the crafts. I've not been involved in many of the groups that are doing like knitting or whatever. However, we've been cleaning out, and I've been doing a lot of donating to the Friends and to the knitting group and things of that nature. So I think that that's really important. It's also, I think, an important thing for people to know that there are ways to assist and help. Not necessarily with money, but, okay, so you do have fabric or you do have yarn or whatever, that you can give it to help other people.
That's being supportive also. You're right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. What other volunteer positions have you been involved in?
So as I said, I belong to, it's called the Emblem Club, and it is a national organization. I am active in my local club. I was a state president in 2009, and I spent a year traveling with the national president in 2015-16. So in many ways, it's what ways can we promote and assist veterans, promoting scholarship, having people understand literacy and drug awareness concerns.
What is the main focus of the Emblem Club?
Community service.
Which is essentially what we are, but focused on the elderly.
I know, I just wanted to
Is it
understand what you were
veterans or
saying.
is it elderly, or is it both?
It's everything. It's everything.
All age groups?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes, scholarships for teenagers. Obviously, helping the veterans active as well as retired. Drug awareness goes across the entire spectrum. Literacy, I volunteer in the schools. We donate paper products throughout the town and the other towns that we come in contact with. We are very active in promoting and assisting loaves and fishes.
Okay. As you think about Littleton's aging population, what strikes you as needing the greatest attention at this time?
Awareness. Awareness.
Awareness?
Somebody for our committee.
I think that, I can only speak for myself, but I don't think I was very aware of what is available, what needs to happen, and how much people are already working to assist seniors. And so for me, I think it's more getting the word out, having people understand really what the Council of Aging does.
Okay.
All right.
I guess we're back to me.
We're back to you. We'll start with somebody else next time, Susan.
That's all right. Do you have any questions about the job description for a board member or any other aspect of being a board member?
I don't. I
you
think it would be a wonderful opportunity, and if chosen, I would be very happy to participate.
You skipped one.
She did. You can go back. You can do it. She skipped.
You can do that one.
She went on, which is out of
she
order.
did.
So,
Okay.
I'm trying to move it along.
What are your feelings regarding visibility and presence as a board member at varied senior events, town meetings, and board meetings, such as Selectmen, Finance Committee, etc.?
I would have no objection to being present and having, I don't know whether people have name tags or whatever that identifies them, but just, I would not have a problem with that.
Great, thank you.
I have a problem with night things. I think that's why they put that question in.
Oh.
They have to drag me out at night and prop me up. Thank you so much for your time.
You're
this
welcome.
evening.
thanks, Maureen.
Thanks, Maureen.
Okay. Andy, come on up.
Come on down.
Oh, that's a big sigh. Gee, I don't know.
He's thrilled to be here with us.
We're easy going. We're easy going. All right, this time we're going to start with Barbara and come on down this way.
Okay, Andy. Let's see, where are we?
Number one.
Board members are appointed by the selectmen. Therefore, each board member is considered an employee of the town. That responsibility brings with it an obligation to adhere to various laws, as well as taking training at various times and being on TV for monthly board meetings. Do you anticipate any difficult adhering to any of these requirements?
No, I don't. I think they're all reasonable.
You are retired.
Yes, I am retired.
And you don't mind your bald spot showing on TV?
I'll wax it a little bit so that,
Oh, Susan, that was a good, only you would say that.
I want to know how you look at it.
mind my
Just turn around.
I feel very offended.
Just turn around and you can see how you look.
There you go.
When I was there.
His hairline is just receding.
Yeah,
Yes,
Like mine.
yes.
yeah.
It's getting beautiful.
Okay. Are we
All
going
right.
that way or?
Yes,
No,
Jean.
Susan's next.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
next.
Yeah, you're coming.
How will
Oh,
yours
no,
still
yeah,
s-
okay,
You
sorry.
had said originally.
I did, I did. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Guilty.
Board is getting dizzy.
I know. Jean's next, I'm sorry.
How are your skills that enhance the COA board?
I'm not sure. I'm aging and I'm old, so I've made use of the COA this year, past year, and so forth. And, I don't think I have any particular experience in the aging process, and not in aging procedures and so forth, but I plan that to be on-the-job training. Yeah.
That's good.
We're good at that.
Yeah.
We're good at that.
What,
Yes.
in your career, did you manage people? Did you work with people? Were you,
Susan,
Yeah.
this isn't your question.
I know, but that gives him a chance to tell us what he can do.
Okay, I'll let you do it.
Yes, I've worked at a number of places where I supervised other technicians and so forth. Worked at Digital for 19 years, where I grew from an individual contributor to a group leader to a supervisor to a manager. Then they got downsized. But
We all know about that.
yeah, so.
Thank you, Andy.
Thanks.
Okay, I think I'm up next. Andy, if we had to choose the COA services, which are most important to the community, which 2 to 3 programs come to mind? I know you've been involved somewhat, and nobody knows everything, I think, that we do, so don't feel pressured by that, but just, from your knowledge.
What services?
What services, COA services, if you had to choose 3, which 2 or 3 programs would come to mind as being the most important to the community?
I think all the activities you provide is great, because that's, as we age, we socialize and so forth. I think that brought me to a lot of events on the board, not on the board, but in the town, and I met a lot of people and so forth, so socializing was important. And the other thing is the aid they provide. I met with Tina and Pam and so forth, and they've helped me through the past year. I don't know about the third one. Third one is.
No, it could be
just
2 or
the-
3.
Yeah.
Don't feel pressured, it's just
you
the
know,
general sense
Instructions
of
that they
things.
have are, since the computer classes I love,
Do you? Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
I hear great things about those computer classes.
I'll throw the same question at you. In your style, how do you handle if you ever come across some disagreements or contentious situations, and how do you work your way through them?
I like to listen to what they say. If there's a disagreement, listen to both sides and try and find what the real point is, or if there's any, animosity and so forth, and try and work past that. But to try to find out what they really want, what they need, and if there's any way it can work, to intertwine the two, it'd be great, to have some compromise.
Great. Compromise is great. Mary?
You're on.
Okay, what are your interests with regard to elder services?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that means, but my interest in regards to elder services, like,
Yeah, how are you interested in the servicing the elders?
Or participate?
yeah, my interest, I guess it would be just to help out wherever I could. For instance, I've received help, and everybody's needs are different, so I think that how I would do it, I'm not sure. It's, again, nobody on a job training.
What interests you the most?
Probably just interfacing with people and see what they need and trying to help out.
Good. Good. Okay, what other volunteer positions have you been involved in?
Basically, it's been the elder tax work-off program, and that involved, again, volunteering in a number of places. So I've worked in the library, and assessor's office, and cafeteria, and different places.
All
Yeah.
volunteer positions?
Well, they weren't volunteer, there was actually,
Yeah.
Well,
same-
they
same
are.
as
there's
a
a
law.
question, I was a town employee, but I did service all the,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I know what you're talking about now. Okay, great, thank you.
As you think about Littleton and aging, what strikes you as the thing that needs the most attention?
I think, not necessarily housing, but the needs of the aging, I think, is, basically we're a fixed income, and the taxes are going up all the time. And you may not need new housing, but you need probably help to pay the taxes that you have, so I think that's an area that is probably driving seniors out of town, so I think that's a good area to focus on.
Thank you.
Okay, what are your feelings regarding visibility / presence as a board member at varied senior events, town meetings, and board meetings such as the selectmen, finance committees, etc.? What do you feel about being at?
I think it's good. I think
Our
that,
events.
yeah, it'd be, again, I'm under some time conflicts, but wherever I can
Go to
attend,
Board
different meetings,
meeting,
board meetings, yeah.
selectmen's meetings and,
Yep.
town meetings.
Do you have any questions about the job descriptions for a board member or any other aspect of being a board member?
No, I don't. I believe, I just read them yesterday, and as I got them an email, and I read it today, and I've reflected on it. I think some board members here did their job as described in recruiting and getting new members in here. Yeah.
All right.
No any questions?
No?
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was, I hope it was painless, Andy.
Oh, no. Okay, I thank you very much for your attention. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Kathleen, Nolet, hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
How do you do?
Hi,
Nice
how
to
are
be
you?
here today. Hi.
Pretty necklace.
Jean, you want to start?
thank you.
You don't?
No, I don't want to stop.
You don't want to start?
Let Bob start, because he got the same question twice.
There you go.
I don't have to ask the third, good, same
No,
question.
you don't start.
We'll make sure you don't have
That's
to.
a good suggestion.
Okay, basically, the question is the same. Board members are appointed by the select, and therefore each board member is considered an employee of the town. The responsibility brings to it an obligation to adhere to various laws, and we need to take ethics training and things like that, and being on TV for the monthly board meetings, which we've begun to forget. We fought it like a tooth when we first had to do it. Do you anticipate any difficulty with adhering to any of these?
No, I don't. I'm familiar with the open meeting law and other board-type responsibilities. I've served on other boards, so I understand how important that is.
Okay.
Are you presently on another board?
No, I'm not.
Good, good.
Okay, Mary, we'll go down your way now.
Okay, how will your skill enhance the COA board?
I'm a huge admirer of the work that this board has been doing and that the Friends have been doing, and I've learned more about it in the since the early part of the year. I think that I would like to bring my experience in education and my work as an educator, from classroom teacher to principal to central office director of educational technology, and the work I've done on some school boards elsewhere. I'd like to bring some new ideas that I've seen work well in other senior centers, and I hope I can support the ongoing work while bringing in some new perspective.
Great, thank you. If we had to choose a COA service, which are most important to the community, which 2 or 3 programs come to mind?
Definitely housing. I've become educated as to the needs of housing in our community. And we want people to feel safe and not worry about their housing, the costs, the utilities, and do whatever we can to support the development of that. Also, meals. I think the meal program is so important to many people, and I know this because my dad counted on the services of his senior center in the last couple of years of his life, and I would accompany him to lunch. He wouldn't go alone, but once he got there, he was able to connect. You know, he was shy and self-effacing, but he was able to talk to other World War II vets, and for me, I was relieved that he got a very good meal.
That's good.
So that's important.
Thank you.
Oh, may I add one more?
Okay.
Did you say 3?
You can have
Whatever.
2 to 3.
2 or 3, or maybe 2B. Transportation is
Thank you, somebody finally
huge.
mentioned it.
And I think that's important because I've seen how hard Pamela works, and I happened to be at a meeting before Cindy was elected to the Board of Selectmen and heard how she ran a fundraiser for a new van, and not everybody has their daughter to drive them around,
No.
or a friend, at the right time or when they just need to. And I think that's my 2B or number 3.
I'm going to make a little correction. Cindy did a GoFundMe to help transportation, not to buy a new van.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that money would
thanks
have
for
been used to
correcting.
buy a van if the town had not put up the capital.
Right.
Oh,
Because we
thank
had
you
to
for,
do a
thanks for
20%
correcting
match.
me.
They did. She raised the money for the drivers that are going to drive it, so
Right.
bless her heart.
No, she gave it to us for transportation to
Transportation.
use any way that we wanted.
Oh, okay.
Within transportation.
Yeah.
Contentious disagreements, how do you feel that you handle those kinds of things?
I think I'm a good communicator and very diplomatic. I've had to have, in the course of my career in education, some very difficult series of conversations in high tension. Does this ring a bell? High tension matters. And a lot of it has to do with listening and bringing an open mind to the table or to the situation.
You
And
mean
I-
those parents with those perfect children didn't like what you were saying?
I also think it's important to try to hear what the other person is saying by seeing things from their perspective. And when you do that, I think you're better able to come to a conclusion that is satisfactory.
Thank you.
Thank you. Barbara?
Let's see, where are we?
Five.
Just thinking of
You're
a
number 5.
situation.
Number 5.
Number 5, what are your interests with regard to elder services?
I have a general interest in supporting and not losing what we have. I'm also interested in helping to build on it in any way that I can. I don't know all of your particular goals and objectives at this time, but I get a sense of them from the mission statement. I strongly support the creation or building of a new senior center in terms of a facility. I also like the idea very much of an intergenerational community-type center, because I think more work can be done, and I'd love to do this, to engage people of other generations. Because we teach children now that you just don't learn in school. You're learning to be a lifelong learner, and that needs to continue throughout your life and feel happy and vital and engaged.
Great, thank you.
As you think about Littleton's aging population, oh no.
No,
Yeah.
6.
6.
What other volunteer positions have you been involved in?
When Diane Bemis was here as superintendent, I did an internship with her for my superintendent's license. And during that time, I became involved with Littleton Community Boosters. We raised money through an auction, and half of it went to the schools, and I believe half of it went to the seniors.
Nice.
I enjoyed that work so much. It was fun. And I learned a lot when I worked with other people on those issues. I have been a volunteer in the schools here when my children were here. I served on the school councils, and I enjoyed that a lot, because one of my core values is that if I have some ability to help people around me or people in my town, then I think it's important for me to do that, to help other people with what I can do.
Anybody have a question for her? Nope.
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 Nope, I'm next after you. So. And we've talked a lot, or you've heard this question come up, and the issue of there are some specific things that we really, are trying to pay attention to. So the question is, what strikes you as needing the greatest attention at this time, with all the needs that we've talked about, and we've talked about, space, and you just mentioned a senior center, and et cetera. So, where are you as far as thinking, what would be the priority, the greatest amount of attention right now?
And this is separate from your question.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Take it
whatever,
any way you want.
just whatever, yeah.
Again, a senior center is something that I'd really like to be involved in, or the intergenerational version. I've been involved with school building projects, and I have a sense of the length of time, the planning, and the disruption, too, that it can cause sometimes. So that's one. I'd like to, if, and maybe this already exists, I haven't talked to Pamela directly about it, but I'd like to find out if the board is interested in exploring national accreditation. There's a national.
Right. We're familiar with that.
Oh, good, good. And there are only 7 other senior centers in Massachusetts that hold that accreditation. I think it's very, very doable with what you have right now to begin that. And you gain some visibility by working on that.
It is my belief that that comes under Pamela's purview, as we are just advisory. We aren't going to go out seeking that. That would be for Pamela to do.
Again, I haven't had any conversations with her about it, but I would support that.
That would be the type of thing that we might suggest to Pamela, and she might say, oh, well, do you forget that? Yeah, and, you know, that maybe it's been done in the past, or,
Could
you know,
be.
whatever. So, but that's the type that would be.
As a matter of fact,
yeah.
I have had conversations with Pam about it, and for a while, she was a member of MOCA.
MCOA, we are MCOA, but not the national.
MCOA. But her feeling was, at the time, that it really didn't gain us anything, and, you know, it didn't have the value that it might have had now. I've been a member of a number of different professional organizations, and I can understand what she was saying, because some of them were very good, and some of them just don't make it, so I don't know.
And there might be a reason there's only 7 people, 7 towns
It could-
involved.
You know, it could.
Especially in Massachusetts, because I think Massachusetts is known for the fact that there is a council on aging in every community, which is unlike many other states even.
We're very involved with elder services on the state level, and
Yeah.
do our training through it and so forth, and that's very, very good.
So, but anyway,
Good point.
thank you,
Well,
though. That was.
Maybe you can take it as an example
Right.
of the
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
thing.
Right.
And that's exactly.
And I don't know if, you mentioned representatives to the Finance Committee and the Board of Selectmen and so forth when necessary. I don't know if you have representation on all boards or subcommittees.
We don't. We have no responsibility, and we have no input into the finances. That's strictly the structure. The structure of the COA, again, is just advisory. We get a financial report at our meetings because it is educational to us to know what's happening, you know, with monies. But we have no say and no authority in that area. That's Keith Bergman and Pamela. So it's, and that's the way the state has structured COA boards. So, but anyway, there's, you know, there's many things,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Well, I'm eager to learn more about it.
Yeah, yeah, well, there's a lot of learning, takes a while, but you learn, so.
The next question is, what are your feelings regarding visibility and presence of a board member? Now, this is a part of what you were just saying. When we have something that we need, like we have a subcommittee on housing, and we've been working very strongly with the planning board and the consultant to do that kind of thing. What is your feeling regarding that visibility and presence on various senior meetings? Because you may be needing to do that as a board member. Town meetings, board meetings, such as the selectmen, the finance committee, when they are dealing with issues that are important to seniors.
I think it's essential. It's about not just representation, I think, but also communicating and building good working relationships with other people.
Thank you. Mary?
Do you have any questions about the job description for a board member or any other aspect of being a board member?
I have one question, and that is, if I were a board member, would it be possible for me to support the Friends of the COA too? Or is that a conflict of interest?
I don't think so.
Decision has been made. You cannot be on the Friends board if you're on the COA board. You can be a member of the Friends.
Yeah.
I'm a member of the Friends.
And obviously.
Right, and that's a donation thing. It's not a,
Yeah.
And obviously, we work together.
Yes.
the Friends, and the COA work together, closely together. But you cannot be be a Friends board member, or, Yep. And the Friends, and part of that is that the COA board has no authority or is not allowed to raise funds. The Friends of Council on Aging's throughout the state, that is kind of their role. It's the role of the Friends to raise money to support senior events. So the focus is quite different between the two groups. But we work together. And we're blessed in this town to have a great, great Friends program. So,
The Friends are big help.
yep. But that's a great question, because it's very confusing to people. And some people think because the Friends put on all of these events and things that their COA, that's the COA board, but they're not, so. Yeah. We understand how confusing it is to people.
And we remind Barbara that every once in a while, yes. She was on the COA board too, so she knows.
Yeah, she knows both roles.
And I also worked with Kathy on the, when she was talking about Diane Beeman. We worked together on that program.
Yeah. Great. Any other questions for us,
Thanks a
though?
lot.
Any questions for any of the candidates before we take a vote here? No? You all set? Okay.
Thank you.
This is the exciting part, right? Well, it's an open meeting, and, and we do need to, make a decision today, because I promised the Board of Selectmen that I would return this evening to let them know our recommendation. So, after I asked them to give us an additional week last Monday night, so. So, I think the best way to do this is with a show of hands. I don't really want to try to count how many voices I hear. So, if you don't mind. And Bob?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you, I never know whether you hear me or not, so. Okay. So can you also, and Pamela, help me count to make sure that we are doing everything right here? I don't want to get in trouble with anybody, so.
So everybody has 2 votes?
No, 2 votes, right. So I think what we'll do is start with the same, go alphabetically as we did before, I called people to the table. And you can. They can do it, you can all do what you feel comfortable doing. You have 2 votes, because we only have 2 positions.
Correct.
And before we do that, I would just really like to emphasize to all 3 of you, you're all great candidates. And we really appreciate the fact that you have come forward. And there are ways, you can help the COA, you can serve on a subcommittee, just can't vote if it comes to something that requires a vote on a subcommittee. But someone who is not a board member can participate and help be active. And then you're out, and actually you'll be more aware. If you do something like that, you get wind of when there's a vacancy. So, would you like to add to that, Susan?
I wanted to say that Pamela and I had discussed that maybe on the agenda in August that we might do what Emmett had suggested
And the
of
associate.
associate members. And so if you don't make the cut today, maybe down the road you would be interested in being an associate member, with the idea that you would be learning as you go and then stepping in when another vacancy, if I get to go to Florida, happens.
That is, and Emmett, we refer to Emmett is a huge, he functions at the state level, and he's a great source of support for us, and information, and whatever. And if you are, do become a member of the board, it's required that you go to one of his trainings, because he is so good to help everybody understand things. So, and she
And we all
was
supposed to
talking
go to
about
one
Emmett.
on a yearly basis, so.
We all go,
And they're a
because
number.
you learn something from him each time you go.
We have fun when we ride together.
So, food. So, but please keep that in mind, because this is difficult. I know the board members are feeling uncomfortable doing this, but you know what? We have to do it, and it's very uncomfortable, but it is a difficult decision too.
Okay.
So, all right, raise your hand, you have 2 votes. Well, do you have another thought process as to how I should do this? I'm just thinking about, we'll vote on Maureen first, or I can go around and they can just tell me.
May I
it's
suggest
easier to-
we have a silent vote?
We
Yeah.
can do
Can't,
that.
open meeting,
It's open meeting law.
open meeting law, no silent votes, no paper votes. Can't do
No
that.
executive session.
So, are you comfortable with that?
It's your board.
I know, so, okay. Do you have a
Just as
particular
long as
preference?
it's an open vote.
Open, okay. So if I were to say to you, you know, people that want to vote for Maureen Donnelly, please raise your hand. I think that's, okay, there we go.
That's good.
All right, we have to count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I had myself. Maureen. Okay. Andy? Andy? Vote, those who would like to vote for Andy, please.
3?
3. And those who are voting for Kathleen? 4. Wow. Okay. So, I think I totaled it correctly. Maureen and Kathleen. It's a, yeah.
And just as a
That doesn't mean
reminder-
anything because you gotta get by the selectmen tonight.
That's true.
And just as a reminder to everyone, all of these meetings and all of our subcommittee meetings are open meetings, and they are posted, and anyone's welcome to attend them. So if you have a special interest area, you're welcome to attend, work in that area.
And the good news for you new members is we don't meet in July.
Well, we haven't voted on that yet. That's
Oh,
on
but
the
we
agenda.
You wanna bet that we do?
No. All right. So, moving on. Let's get back to my agenda here.
Why did you vote for that woman? She's
All right. We have reappointments that have been made this year.
Oh, who's the second candidate?
There were 2.
Andy, you didn't vote.
Maureen and Kathleen are the 2 that were elected.
Right, okay. Gotcha.
All right, and we have, great, wonderfully, Jean Johnson, Bob Stetson, and Susan Dunn were all reappointed to the board.
Oh, yay.
Thank you very much for being willing to serve another
I
three-year
was
term.
hoping that Joe was going to stand up and say, "Oh, not her," and then Andy could have been on the board.
So,
But he didn't.
and thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We're grateful that you are willing to serve again.
Now, what are the years on those?
2020
They're all
is-
2020s.
All 2020?
All 3 of you,
Yep.
Okay.
2017 to 2020.
And that was Jean, myself, and Susan.
When do you want to hear the offices?
It's on the agenda when we get
That's
there.
it.
Oh,
We get
that's
there.
right, it's number F, I think.
Are you all set, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
2020, I'll be 82.
that's all
That would help me.
Don't think about it that way.
It's just a number.
And Jean.
It is. All right, now, at this time of year, we do review subcommittee appointments, because sometimes people want to switch and change the subcommittee that they're serving on. So this, we have put this down as a new business item, review of subcommittee appointments. We have currently the Housing Subcommittee with Patty, Bob, and Mary C., right?
And I'm on.
And
And
Mary P.
And Mary.
Mary P., right. And we have the Membership Committee, and this is Barbara still here, and this is her last meeting, but she serves on the Membership Subcommittee. Jean Johnson and I do. All right? And then we have the Awareness Subcommittee, and that's Mary P. too. She's doing double duty here. And Susan.
Learn to keep my hands down.
The rookie
And-
mistake.
We did have a Space Subcommittee, and then it kind of got disbanded for a while. But I'm wondering, if we need to reactivate the space subcommittee?
Because of the deal with the space,
Yeah, I
we need
think
somebody
so.
to represent us.
But wouldn't that be better to be done in August when our new members have been sworn in?
Well, we can decide.
Always add
Right now,
people.
we can reactivate the space subcommittee. If anyone here wishes to participate on that, you can change your, what board you're serving on, and we can also, that will help us know and help the new members know where we need help too.
Who
If
is
we kind of
awareness?
get our act together. Awareness is Susan and Mary Picard. Susan Dunn.
Mary Picard.
Mary Picard.
Mr.
And
Chair.
Mary's on 2 subcommittees, and so,
That's fine.
And you're the secretary.
I guess my question to you is, how do you feel about I think the space subcommittee is becoming a necessary
I agree.
entity. Again,
Unnecessary or unnecessary?
necessary,
Okay.
given the facts of what Cindy Napoli was talking about here today. So we have that subcommittee, it kind of, wasn't too active, and so it just hasn't been active, but we need to maybe think about reactivating.
Plus all the members are gone.
Right. So we need to think about reactivating that.
I still believe that awareness is incredibly important.
Oh, I do too.
So I'm not switching, just so you know.
I'm glad. I agree with you. I think awareness is, and I think that's probably one of the reasons that vote at the town meeting, we missed it by 4 or 5, whatever it was, because maybe we could have gotten a little bit more information out.
I get it
so.
right.
But, we'll live and learn and you move forward, so. But, how about what do people think about the space? Bob has already said he feels it's important.
It is
It
important.
is important.
All right.
Question, but I'm not going on 3 committees.
I don't expect you to.
I'll go on the space committee.
Bob will serve on the space committee if we reactivate, excuse me. Bob and anyone else
We'll
that's
leave some
here right
space for
now?
the new people.
We have, and that's all I want to do, is just kind of because we do this at this time of the year, and then we know where we stand in August. So, is everybody okay with that? You all in favor of doing that? Bob will serve on it?
But as I
I
said.
understand. You can't,
We'll wait, because somebody from the new group might want to be on it.
that's right.
Absolutely.
It's a very exciting, actually, a good topic, so,
Well, don't you require everyone to serve on a subcommittee?
yes, we do. So they have to pick one. The membership will have Jean and I after the end of this month, so. But I want you to know Barbara's
The way
very
you say that
dedicated.
sounds like you've got something planned for her to do
Okay,
this
let's move
month.
along.
No, we're meeting Thursday because she said she'd help us redo the manuals, and we're getting that in before the end of the month. That's why I said.
We need those new addresses and email them.
And that raises another, I'm off topic a little bit, but just for the new board members, we do have a manual, and we will be meeting, the membership subcommittee is meeting this Thursday to update the manual. And there's always things that change, so we update them once a year. And you will each get a copy of the manual, so you have it. It has the job description, it has the memorandum of agreement, it has things from the state level information. It's a good source, has rules and regs, all that stuff. So we are meeting this week to get them updated. Okay. And Pam, I think, can speak to this next item on the agenda, the TRED representative. We need a representative for TRED. What is TRED exactly?
So the TRED program is the taxation release for elders and the disabled. We started it, I guess it's been 2 years now. It's a voluntary program, takes donations. It's based on a state statute. And there is a board that disperses the funds. The board is made up of the town treasurer, Steve Venuti. This is by statute. The chair of the Board of Assessors, which is Fred Freund, a representative from our board, and then there are supposed to be 2 representatives at large from the community. Roseanne was our representative, and now she's no longer a member of the board. She stepped down from everything. So we need someone from this board to be a representative for that. In terms of timing, there is plenty of time. We can talk about this in the August meeting, because TRED group meets in late September. And at that point, they are given a set of recommendations from Tina out of the applications, and then the group votes on how to disperse the funds. in preparation for being applied to the February tax bills, which is, February tax bills are the first real tax bills that everyone receives.
Right.
So I'd like to put it out there for you to think about whether you might like to serve on that committee.
I
Now, the
would.
good news is that you meet very, very few times, like once a year.
Mary's got one hand, got her hand
But you were
out.
going to sit on your hands.
I was, but that's fascinating to me.
We don't have to choose today,
No,
Okay,
but, yeah.
but it will be on the August agenda. And
We
it
will-
would be really great if in August or at the very latest September, we could get our representative selected.
So, yeah, we put it out today because we wanted the information out so you could be thinking about it, et cetera. Okay, moving on. All right, we need, Mary, you're on now. It's your turn.
Patty Hunt and myself were on the nominating committee for the slate of officers for the CA Board for the June 17th to June 18th period. We're very pleased to announce that the board members were all responsive, and we are naming Marge Payne as chairperson, Mary Patty Hunt as vice chair,
Nominating.
and Bob Stenson as secretary. It's a repeat, and they've agreed, they're willing to take it another year.
You're nominating.
You're nominated.
Nominate,
Yes.
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, you are making a motion?
I make a motion that you accept these names for
But
those
the-
positions.
Okay, but let's get this straight. When you present this, we're voting to accept accept the report of the committee. Then it can be open for other nominations.
Okay. I'm sorry, I tried to cheat. So, I'm sorry. All right. May we have a vote to accept the recommendations of the nomination of the nominating committee?
So moved.
Seconded.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Now, is there any discussion relative to the officers for next year? Are there any people that would like to be considered?
Mary.
I move the nominations be closed and the board vote unanimously for the slate as presented.
Bob just made a motion
yeah.
that,
Yeah, second it.
okay, you seconding it? You could hear him, right?
Yep.
Did you hear he moved that we accept the slate of officers as suggested by the nominating committee.
That's fine.
You're in favor? All those in favor? Okay, is that legal? Now, have I done it right, Bob, I think this time? Thank you.
Usually the people do exactly what you were gonna do, and that's like, just go ahead and vote, and you gotta
You're
allow
right,
other
and
nominations.
I thank you for the help. Trust me.
I would move that we vote not, I would move that we do not hold a meeting of the board in July unless there's an absolute necessary.
I second and third that.
All those in favor of not having a meeting in July? I think that's a unanimous vote, unless you're opposed, Bob.
I have a question. The broadcaster is for June. Which 2 months does it cover? June and July or July and August?
July and August.
Usually, once a year, we go for 2.
It's
July and August.
July and August? Okay. Even though we don't have a meeting in July. That was
And
my...
that has nothing to do with the
Has
broadcast.
No.
nothing to do with the broadcast.
Well, there's a lot of activities going on
Yeah,
in
but it still
July.
has nothing to do with
The board.
Yeah.
Well, there's a big list.
Well, that's true, and there should be a lot of activities going on, but it has nothing to do with us meeting or not meeting.
No, no.
Right.
Okay, reports. When you're ready, Bob.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you for being willing to serve again.
Yes,
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
We might make it on time here today, not be over.
Okay, there's nothing spectacular in the reports.
Good.
We are solvent. I've made suggestions to Pam, if we're looking at the Mart report, excuse me, at the office budget report, I've made some suggestions to Pam that next year we change some of the budget numbers, which is the dark letters, just to concur with what the exact figures are, because you'll notice this year, we have overspent the recreation budget, we've overspent the postage budget, and yet we've got big surpluses in some of the others. So I've just made some recommendations for her to consider changing. But basically, as a total budget, which is all that the town is interested in, we're well within our money, and we're sure that Pam will find a way to spend it before the end of June.
We don't want any
Because if you don't
leftovers.
spend it, you don't get it back.
That's right.
Oh, you can't keep it, huh?
So if there's any questions on any of those as to what we've spent it on, there it is. The March budget, again, I do not have figures, and I've got to get from Pam the figures for monthly riders for March, April, and May. The trouble is that report doesn't come out until well after our meeting. But basically, obviously, we've been running anywhere from 460 to 540 for numbers of riders on the MART report. The drivers are going well over 300 hours every month.
Oh, look at March.
We're receiving a substantial amount of fares collected, and other than that, as you can see with 7 drivers, we're running $4,700 a month. We have only 42 left for the rest of the year, because that's what the balance is, but Pam has money that has been given for the possibility of covering those needed for the month of June, so we shouldn't have a problem there.
So when you look at this figure here where it shows that we've already spent $67,000 in the MART budget, that includes the $9,000 charge for dispatching,
Yeah,
$9,900.
because that's down under dispatchers from February.
Right, so MART will not reimburse us for that $9,900. So when you look at this number, you should back that number out, because that will come from other sources.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That comes directly from the town in a different way, huh?
Right.
Which means that we have 9,900 more of MART money.
Just have to be recognized by the chair. Just a second. Okay. Yes.
Does the fiscal year end the end of June?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Fiscal years in the town are from July 1st to June 30th.
Thank you.
July 1st.
And then we have the third one, which is the accounts budget, and I don't think there's anything that's particularly different than it was, but you'll notice that we have and remember on the balance line, minuses are pluses and pluses are minuses. So we have 10,000 in the Sprong Trust, we have in the EHS Elizabeth Cooper gift fund of another 10,000. Transportation, we have 37,000 and so forth. And you can ask Pam about any of the others.
Okay. Does anyone have a question for Pam? No? Okay, thank you, Bob. Now,
Good job, Bob. Good job.
Pamela's report is in your packets. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
So thank you, Bob, for the lead-in. I draw your attention to the $37,000 that's in the transportation fund. Part of the reason that that's so healthy is because of the town's almost $12,000 match, the capital appropriation that was made at the special town meeting in May that goes for our bus. So just to go back a little bit with history, so I submitted the grant, did all the paperwork that was necessary to ask for a bus for us, for the town to own a bus to use for transportation. And we won the grant for the, it was about $85,000 for the bus. And with that came the 20% match. And as I mentioned earlier, if the town had not been able to help us with that 20%, it would have had to come out of the various places. We started a transportation fund to give us a cushion around transportation. So this will be, you'll see this immediately debited, because the bus is going to be delivered Wednesday.
Yay! My goodness.
What's it gonna say on it?
Wow.
Guess.
Like the others?
It's going to say Littleton Elder and Human Services.
It's good. 'Cause
Oh,
the
wait,
other
wait.
one says Massachusetts, doesn't it?
It does on one of the,
The mark.
it
One of
says
them
it's
does.
COA on the back.
Yeah.
This is our bus. We will own this bus. Well, don't cheer too much because that means we're responsible for all the maintenance for it.
Which is a
But it's brand new.
But it's brand new and I'm
Yeah, but there are
banking on
lemons
that.
out there, you know?
You should have a little bit of
And
leeway.
again, that's why we need that cushion and money in the transportation fund. There's got to be somebody in this board that remembers the terrible days when we had the old white Dodge van
Oh.
and we had to rent a car and we were in terrible straits when that would go off the road.
Where do they keep the buses at night? Where do they store them?
Light and water
Okay,
in the parking lot down there. It's a locked parking lot.
okay.
That's great.
So I here submit to you the report. Probably the most interesting thing that's happened is the volunteer recognition luncheon. And again, I just really want to point out that even with the high bar of 50 hours a year, which is very high compared to other towns, we had over 100 people that were invited to that. And the Friends, thank you very much, Friends, did a great job, and I think people really had not only a lovely meal, but I think people had a nice time talking to each other. I noticed that at several tables, there were people who work in the same areas but not the same shifts that got a chance to find a face to go with the name or a chance to talk to someone that they hadn't talked to in quite a while. Several people mentioned that to me. And then, of course, we had our turkey luncheon from compliments of the police department. Last week, we did the AARP driver safety course, which was fully subscribed with 15 people, and I had people who wanted to get in, but 15 was the limit on that. And then I just want to point out, Barbara already mentioned the cookout in August with Representative Arciero and State Senator Eldridge. The fire department will hold its annual cookout on Wednesday, July 19th. And the rest of this is figures, and Bob, you can get some of your transportation figures off of the back. I filled in what I've got, respectfully submitted.
Thank you.
Transportation continues just to be overwhelming.
Yes.
Yep. All right, Tina is not here today, but you do have an outreach report in your packet. Tina's report.
Tina asked me to present her report. This is her first day back from a
should.
3-day vacation. Oh, there was one short. And it would be you. Remember, we talked about this. We talked about how I was going to give you the, right, I would give you one.
Here, I can do it.
Yeah, if you would pull that out. So Tina just came back from vacation. Again, Tina is extremely busy. We have a lot of need in the town and a lot of people. Her groups are very busy, as well as all the individual people that she sees. The only good news, the light at the end of the tunnel, is that technically the fuel assistance program has finished for the year. Although there's still a few lingering people that we're trying to get paperwork in on, so that gives us a bit of a breather. Tina, of course, coordinates the Catholic Heart Work Camp in July, and also with the churches. She provides the information on the people for the Day of Caring, all of which take a lot of her time. She's really looking forward to the new outreach coordinator. And just to update you on what's happening with the outreach coordinator, I attended the personnel board meeting last week where a revised job description was accepted. The revision primarily was reorganizing it and grouping things together logically. The job has not changed its grade at all. It's still a grade 9. But that clears the way for us now to do the vacancy review, which then clears the way for us to start advertising.
Okay, great. Okay.
Again, outreach respectfully submitted.
And that is such a blessing. She's getting help. Okay, and Barbara.
Your last report.
Fanfare.
All's well that ends well.
Nothing specific, all is well.
No, nothing, everything okay.
You haven't poisoned anybody in the diner?
Do we have what?
Poisoned anybody in the diner?
Actually, I understand that the herb garden got
Yes,
replanted.
wonderful.
Thanks
Mary
to Mary
Picard
Picard
and
helped
Anne
us.
Marie Ternosky?
And yes, so that is out on the patio.
The kitchen really uses them through the summer, you know.
They, yes,
Tried to
Gail.
get it all from my brother, but I
Yeah.
couldn't. So I had to go to Caldo's to supplement.
Yeah, that's
But
really-
it looked, I
really
was looking at
nice-
it, it's
nice
great.
job.
It
Yeah,
looks
it
great.
was lovely. I thought.
Yeah,
they
and
did.
Gail did use it last summer. She used the
I
seasoning
imagine
from- This
in
is
the
a,
August meeting, we'll get a new list of all the board members, right? With the
Right.
telephone numbers and
you
all.
will get it when you get your updates for your manual,
And they
yes.
vote them tonight.
Okay, all right,
They have to be approved by the Board of Selectmen
right,
tonight.
right.
All right, do I have a motion to accept the reports?
I move that we accept the reports as presented.
I second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you. All right, our next meeting will be August 14th. Everybody enjoy July. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Stay here.
You want to stay? Do you want to meet some more?
No.
Do I have a second? Will you move?
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded that the meeting be adjourned, Bob.
Flip the switch.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
I've already got
Okay.
it.
All right, I didn't know what you were
You should
motioning.
give
You
Barbara
notice that the
hers
meeting
as a
speeds up with the
souvenir.
report stop because we always make those the last thing in the meeting.
No, just thank her.
No, we are having a little event here, so please stay.
Don't think you're out of it because we'll, it can happen tomorrow.
We'll find you.